So before I got my first big boy job, my mom gave me this very Asian mom advice, which was keep your head down, stay out of office politics, listen to your manager, work hard, and let your work speak for itself. But for most of you who work in corporate America, you would know that that is probably the worst corporate advice that you could give to someone, because part of learning how to climb the corporate ladder is to learn how to play office politics. But I trusted her, so I followed her advice for 2 years, being the good Asian son that I am. Now, the strategy actually worked out okay for a little bit until I got a new manager who was really good at playing office politics. And I let her do her thing, and I stayed out of it. And it worked out for a bit while she was sort of on my side. But things quickly fell apart once she let things slide and she started throwing me under the bus. Eventually, I just got fed up and I started advocating for myself. And so every time, for example, she would try to claim work that I did, I would respond in one of our group chat rooms that, hey, actually, this is something that I wrote a few months ago. So if you need this document updated, let me know. I try to keep it as cordial as possible, but it didn't really do me any favors. And the problem here is that people don't really like change. People always say they like to disrupt and innovate, but the reality is most people prefer the status quo. They want to feel comfortable. And so for the past 2 years, I was known as this smart Asian kid with a PhD, just working in the corner, doing his smart thing, making smart things. And so all of a sudden, I speak up for myself and people are like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Who are you? Why are you causing problems? But because I let this go on for too long, I realized that it became this massive uphill battle for me to rebuild my reputation as someone that you can't just step all over and get away with it. But once I realized that I couldn't really win this battle, I just quit. While it was disappointing for me to have to quit my job that I loved in so many ways, I did learn an invaluable lesson, which is that I have to establish certain boundaries early on with people to let them know that I'm not just some punching bag that they can use at will, and that I will stand up for myself, I will defend myself if they cross certain lines. And this is particularly important for Asian people, for young people, for women, because we're often easy targets for these sorts of attacks. Because people assume that we're submissive and soft-spoken and meek, so they think they can attack us and get away with it. But if we're smart enough to dominate all your Ivy League schools, you don't think we're smart enough to fight back? So the last few videos of me defending myself on this platform was not a call for sympathy. It was for me to establish certain boundaries. And yes, I can ignore these comments. I have ignored all of them for the past 6 months, but I also will retaliate if I feel like it's necessary to do so. I have created multiple content defending young people, defending old people, defending women, defending gays. Why wouldn't I then defend the most important person in my life? Me! And I just turned 35, and at this point in my life, I am not looking for social approval from random strangers on the internet. I am way beyond that now. And so I don't care about the number of followers I have. I don't care about the number of followers I lose. I don't care how many views or likes my videos get or don't get, because no amount of engagement is worth me compromising my self-respect.